In the last lecture, we have studied different types of learning: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. In this lecture, we'll study support vector machine, that is SVM. SVM is supervised learning modes with associated learning algorithm that analyze data used for classification and regression analysis. Support vector machine is supervised learning because the data is labeled data. This labeled data is given to training model. Now in the given figure, when testing data enter into a prediction or a classification, it finds in which class it belongs to, and in the output system define the class of testing data. In the given diagram, a data set is defined. Two components are given for features x1 and s2, x2. One data type is given is defined in the form of red color, whereas another data is defined in the form of blue color. We need to separate these classes clearly. So draw the line in between two different data. Now there are various methods to draw a line in between these two data sets. So I have drawn here. Now see the middle line which is drawn in between these two data sets. This is one method we can draw the line. Now here the another diagram is shown in which the line is drawn vertically. See the middle line, it is called as, and that line is known as decision boundary or the hyperplane. So one can draw this hyperplane in this way, or one can draw the hyperplane in this way. Now let us see some terms related to support vector machine. The line is called decision boundary or the hyperplane, which separate two classes. Hyperplane decide the testing data is belong to class 1 or class 2. Now draw the two more line parallel to this hyperplane. One at the left hand side of the hyperplane and another line is drawn parallel to the right side of the hyperplane. But where to draw these two parallel lines? Now to decide this position of parallel lines, find out the data point from class 1. Now let us consider this red points are from class 1. Now we have to find, now 4 data points are given here. Now from among these 4 data points, which data points is more near to the class 2? So that point is called as support vector. It is defined in the diagram. Similarly, from the class 2, 5 data points are defined there. Which data points is more near to class 1? It is again defined by, drawn by blue pen, and it is called as, and these 2 points are nothing but support vector. That's why the name of this method is support vector machine. Now we have two distances, d plus and d minus. Now d plus distance is the distance between hyperplane and the left side data point, and d minus is the distance between hyperplane and the right side data point. And this complete distance is called as margin. Now let us consider this margin and above figure margin. Now for this slanting hyperplane, see the distance margin, we called it as a margin 1 and here it is a margin 2. So which hyperplane we should select, either this above or below. So we just have to remember which has maximum margin, that we have to select as a hyperplane. So obviously in the above diagram we are getting a maximum margin, that's why this we will consider as hyperplane for our given data types. Now see one more diagram here. Here data points are given, two types. One is defined by red color, another is defined by blue color. Now can we draw a single line through this data point? So we will get two classes. Anyway, we can't draw a single line which can separate these data points into two different classes. That's why this kind of a problem we can't solve using linear support vector machine. Linear SVM equation. Now this is theoretical things related to support vector machine. Now actually how to write this idea in the form of equation. Consider two classes are there. One is defined as C1 and second one is defined as C2. Now Gx is the equation which is a linear function. It is equal to Wt x plus b, where x is the input feature vector and w is weight vector, and plus b is added to this Wtx. B is actually defined the position in space. G of x is equal to Wtx plus b equal to 0. Now in two-dimensional space, it represent, this equation represent a straight line. Wtx plus b equal to 0 in three-dimensional plane, it represent a space. W represent orientation and b represent the position. Here w is a vector and b is the value. B is known as bias term, which is biasing the position of a hyperplane in the space. For every feature x, we need to calculate Wtx plus b value. Now let us consider x is x1. So first data point. So if x1 belongs to positive side of the hyperplane, then the equation will be g of x1 is equal to Wtx1 plus b, and this g of x1 value will be greater than 0, and if it is greater than 0, then we can say that x1 points belongs to class 1. Opposite to that, if x1 is belongs to negative side, then g of x1 is equal to Wtx1 plus b. This value is less than 0, then we can say that x1 data point is belongs to class 2. Now there are two cases. Now third case is remaining. Which one? Now suppose if that data point is on the hyperplane, then g of x1 equal to Wtx1 plus b is equal to 0. For any training sample, we calculating WT and B value, and we check either this WTX1 plus B is greater than 0. Now suppose the data sample is from class 1, and if the value of WTX1 plus B is less than 0, then we change W and B to get it is positive value. That means WTX1 plus B is greater than 0. Until and unless we are getting this is greater than 0, we have to find the value. Now similarly, if the training data sample is from class 2, then WTX1 plus B is less than 0, and if it is not, then change the value of W and B so that we must get WTX1 plus B is less than 0 for class 2 data types. Now suppose if I have a vector xi and it belongs to class 1, that's why my equation will be WTXI plus B is greater than 0. Now I can rewrite this equation. W dot xi plus B is greater than 0. Using simple mathematical rule, I can convert that to dot product. Then we can say that xi is belongs to class 1. Similarly, if I am getting W dot xi plus B is less than 0, then that xi data point is belongs to class 2. When we go for design of classifier and already know xi belongs to class 1 or class 2, so we can assign to every xi the class belongingness. Now how to add this class belongingness with the equation? So change the equation from W dot xi plus B to yi into W dot xi plus B. Now we'll see in detail why we are using this yi, why we are multiplying this yi to the wxi plus b. Here the value of yi is either plus 1 or minus 1. When it is plus 1, when particular data type is belongs to class 1, then we'll set yi to plus 1. And when xi is belong to class 2, then we will set yi to minus 1. Now, what here written yi into w dot xi plus b is always greater than 0. If my classification system is correct. Now let us check how it is always greater than 0. Now let us consider my data point is belong to class 1. That's why what I'm getting w dot xi plus b term is positive term, right? And for that, if it is belongs to class 1, for that yi is plus 1. So any value, positive value is multiplied with the plus 1, we are getting a greater than 0, that means positive value. Now let us consider I have a data point xi which is from class 2. So what I am getting w dot xi plus b, it is negative value or less than 0 value. But for that class, yi value is again minus 1. So minus 1 multiplying with any negative value, I am again getting a positive value or greater than 0. Now in this way, we can cross verify our system output. We can use above equation to cross check if xi from C1, and if we get wi xi plus b as a negative, then yi wi xi plus b is a negative value. Therefore, classification is not correct. Once we get w and b, we can check for unknown data point. Suppose unknown feature vector is a p. We don't have yi here because previously we have checked the equation for training data set. In that, we know either it is belongs to C1 or C2. That means we can decide the yi as +1 or -1. But here it is unknown vector. We don't know whether it is belongs to class 1 or class 2. So we don't have yi value. So how to cross check? So we'll multiply w dot p plus b. If we are getting this term is greater than 0, then we can say that it is belongs to class 1. And if I am getting wp plus b is less than 0, then it belongs to class 2. Now again see the equation. Wt x plus b is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0 or slightly, now in this equation, if it is just slightly greater than 0, what happened? And if it is much greater than 0, what happened? Now if it is just slightly greater than 0, this equation, then see the above diagram. Now in this, the hyperplane is defined, and we can observe here the support vector, 3 support vectors we are getting, 3 support vector points, 1 red point and 2 blue points we are getting. Now if we'll draw a d plus distance and d minus distance, here the hyperplane from the left side support vector point, it is the distance between these two is very small. D plus is very small than d minus distance. So if I am getting this wt x plus b is just greater than 0, then the condition may be like this. Yes, the hyperplane is correct, and d plus we are getting, d minus we are getting, it is greater than 0, but the distance d plus is very less than d minus. So this kind of design is not desirable. The hyperplane should be middle of this 2 points, near to middle or middle of this. That means d plus and d minus should be maximum. So we have to define hyperplane in such a way that d plus distance and d minus distance should be maximum. So this kind of hyperplane is not desirable. Now how to define this in the form of equation? So obviously wtx plus b should not be, it is just not be greater than 0. So what we will do, instead of 0 we'll take some value, and that value we will define in the form of gamma. That's why my equation will change to now wt xi plus b is greater than or equal to gamma, where gamma is the distance from hyperplane to xi. Now again I have written the equation w dot x plus b is equal to 0. So I can write this w dot x plus b equal to 0 in the form of w dot x plus b divided by mod of w using mathematical basic rule. And by adding gamma into this, we are getting the equation, instead of 0, we have to write w dot x plus b divided by mod of w is greater than or equal to gamma. Now I can rewrite this equation, w dot x plus b is greater than or equal to gamma into mod of w, and it is equal to 1 because I have scaled here this value. That's why by scaling we get this gamma into mod of W is equal to 1. Now the equation become W dot X plus B is greater than or equal to 1 when that X is belongs to class 1, and W dot X plus B is less than or less than minus 1, then X is belongs to class 2. But now if this is not equal to, actually it's greater than 1 and less than 1. If it is greater than 1, then X is belongs to class 1, and is less than minus 1, sorry, less than 1, then it is belong less than minus 1, then it belongs to X. X is belongs to class 2. And by adding yi, we are getting the equation in this way: yi into W dot xi plus b is greater than or equal to 1 if xi is support vector. If xi is support vector, then this equation will be yi into W dot x plus b equal to 1. And for other points, I am getting this value is greater than 1. W dot x plus b divided by mod of W is greater than or equal to gamma. Now, in this equation, when we are getting gamma is maximum, when here we require gamma is a maximum value, we must have to design a system with gamma is a maximum. For that, we need to change two parameters. That means mod W should, to get maximum gamma, we must have mod of W minimum value and B should be maximum. Now, how to reduce this mod W value and increase the value of B? Now, to minimize this mod of W, we have to define the function for phi of W is equal to Wt into W. I can write this equal to W into W using mathematical rule. So phi of W is equal to half of W into W. For mathematical convenience, just put term half over there. Now minimize this W. For this, we have to see other constant. We have a other constant, yes, which just now we have seen what it is, yi into W dot xi plus b equal to 1. Now this is a constant we will take if xi is the support vector. Now using Lagrangian multiplier, we'll define the Lagrangian in the form of LWB. Because why we have taken W and B? Because we want to reduce the value of a W and we want to increase the value of B. So it is equal to half W dot W minus summation of alpha I into bracket yi into bracket W dot xi plus b minus 1, where alpha I is Lagrangian multiplier. For optimization, we have taken this alpha I value. So take the derivative with respect to W and take the derivative of Lagrangian with respect to B. So let us take with respect to B. So which term we are getting? Dou L divided by dou B. What will be the value of dou L by dou B? And we have to find the value of dou L divided by dou B, dou W. So again, I have written this L of WB in expanded form. Just solve the brackets. So we will get the equation, above equation will be half W dot W minus summation of alpha I yi into w dot xi minus summation of alpha I yi b plus summation of alpha I. Now this equation I have given a number 1. Now let us differentiate this equation with respect to b. Now in equation 1, b is present in third term only, because in first term, second term and fourth term there is no b value. So the value is 0 for first, second and last term. That's why dou L divided by dou B is equal to minus summation of alpha I into yi equal to 0. Now this equation I have written in the form of summation I is equal to 1 to m. Now here m is the number of feature vector given for design. Alpha I yi equal to 0. Now let us consider this as my second equation. Now we are getting here dou L divided by dou B. Now let us differentiate with respect to W. By differentiating above equation with respect to W, we are getting W minus summation of alpha I yi xi equal to 0. That's why W is equal to summation of I is equal to 1 to m alpha I yi xi, and this is nothing but weight vector, where three terms are there: alpha I, yi and xi. From that, alpha I and yi are the scalar quantity, whereas xi is the training vector. Now if we put equation 2 and 3 into a main equation 1, let us put equation 2 and 3 into equation 1. So the second term will equal to 0. Now see, the first term is half of w into w. Now half of w into w, or w into w, so we have to use the two subscripts. That's why I have here used I and j, two subscripts. That's why I am getting the equation L of wb is equal to half summation of alpha I alpha j yj into xi dot xj minus summation of alpha I alpha j yj into xi dot xj plus summation of alpha I. Now by adding this, we are getting the final equation for L is equal to, or L of wb is equal to summation of I equal to 1 plus m alpha I minus half of summation of alpha I alpha j yj into xi dot xj. We have to maximize this Lagrangian with different value of alpha. Now this L multiplier are always positive. Now consider Z is unknown vector. So d of Z is equal to sine of summation of j equal to 1 to m alpha j yj xj z plus b. Now here we are just interested in the sign of dz. We are not interested, or this is not important what the value we are getting of this complete term. We are just interested in either it is positive or negative. And if d of z is a positive, we can say that that is from class 1. and if it is negative, then we can say that that data point is from class 2. Here we have seen how to derive the equation for support vector machine. Now directly we'll solve the example on this SVM on linear SVM. Now the question is, draw the hyperplane for given points, and the points are 1 1, 2 1, 1 minus 1, 2 minus 1, 4 0, 5 1, 5 minus 1 and 6 0. So total 8 points are given. Now we have to draw the hyperplane in this case. So let us see the steps. We'll consider here 2 points are given, that means two components we have to define. One is x1, another one is x2. So let us draw on the x-axis x1 and on y-axis x2. Draw all 8 points on the plane. Now we have to draw the hyperplane at one point. Now here we are getting a open space which is drawn by the rectangle. Now here the point is 3 0. So we have to draw the hyperplane at 3 0. Let us consider 3 0 at 3 0 or near to 0 our hyperplane is exists. Now what we will consider, the left side of that 3 0 will be negative points and or negative region, and the right side of that point is positive region. That's why I have drawn that negative side data points with the red color and positive side data points with the blue color. Now on that rectangle, let us consider these two red points as S1 and S2, and one point from the class 2, that is from positive side, it is considered as S3. Now let us write down S1, S2 and S3. S1 equal to 2 1, S2 equal to 2 minus 1 and S3 is equal to 4 0. Now add extra 1 as a bias input. That's why I'm getting new vectors. S1 bar is equal to 2 1 1, S2 bar equal to 2 minus 1 1 and S3 bar is equal to 4 0 1, where this 1 is with bias input. Now find three parameters alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3. Now left, if it is for data point is for left side, it is negative. If it is for right side, then it is positive. That's why the equations will be alpha n, alpha 1, S1 bar plus alpha 2, S2 bar dot S1 bar plus alpha 3, S3 bar dot S1 bar equal to minus 1, because S1 point is from negative side. Let us see the second equation. Alpha 1 S1 bar S2 bar plus alpha 2 S2 bar S2 bar plus alpha 3 S3 bar S2 bar. Again it is from negative side, that's why it is equal to minus 1. Now S3 is from positive side, so the equation become alpha 1 S1 bar S3 bar plus alpha 3 S3 bar dot S2 bar plus alpha 3 S3 bar dot S3 bar, it is equal to plus 1, because S3 is from positive class. Now put S1 bar, S2 bar and S3 bar in above equations. So we are getting again three equations by putting the values of S1 bar, S2 bar and S3 bar. So first equation will be alpha 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 plus alpha 2 2 minus 1 1 into 2 1 1 plus alpha 3 equal alpha 3 401, 211 and it is equal to minus 1. Similarly, write down the equation second and write down the equation third by putting the values of S1 bar, S2 bar and S3 bar. So we are getting this kind of 3 equation. Now we have to solve this equation. Now let us see example how to solve this 211 into 211. How to solve this? Here it is given 211 into 211. It is equal to 2 into 2 plus 1 into 1 plus 1 into 1. So total is 6. Now that you have to multiply with the alpha 1. And similarly, after solving, I am getting again 3 equations. First equation is a 6 alpha 1 plus 4 alpha 2 plus 9 alpha 3 equal to minus 1. Second equation is a 4 alpha 1 plus 6 alpha 1 plus 9 alpha 3 equal to minus 1. And third equation is 9 alpha 1 plus 9 alpha 2 plus 17 alpha 3 equal to plus 1. Now, 3 unknowns are here, alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3. And after simplifying this 3 equation, we are getting the values alpha 1 and alpha 2 equal to minus 3.25 and alpha 3 value is 3.5. Now, how to get boundary? We have the equation W bar is equal to summation of alpha I into Si bar. Now, let us put the values of S into the W bar equation. So, I am getting W bar is equal to alpha 1 into 211 plus alpha 2 into 2 minus 11 alpha plus alpha 3 into 401. After solving this equation by putting the values of alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3 in the equation, I am getting W bar is equal to 10 minus 3. Now, we know that the first two values 1 and 0 is hyperplane and the third value is bias value. Now, how to draw hyperplane for this 1, 0 and minus 3 value? Now, just remember, if we'll compare this y is equal to wx plus b, w we are getting 1, 0 and b is equal to minus 3. Now, if this w equal to 0, 1, then we can directly say that it is a horizontal hyperplane. And if w is equal to 1, 0, then it's a vertical hyperplane. So, in our case, in our example, the w value is a 1, 0. So, obviously, it's a vertical plane. But what will be the position? It is decided by b factor. Now, if the b factor is a minus 1, then it is passing through plus 3. And if it is plus 3, b is equal to plus 3, then it is passing through minus 3. Now, in our example, b is equal to minus 3. That's why it is passing through plus 3 value. So, if we'll draw this vertical line at 3, 0, we are getting this kind of hyperplane. So, in this way, we can solve a linear SVM problem. Thank you.